Hi, Sam Tobert, Sound of Joy Music Services, and we're coming back with how can I put this? A levels discussion for the church musicians who come to my site and who ask for breakdowns of songs. I've had some conversation through comments. You may see some of them posted, and I may have come across as being sharp in my approach to those musicians. Of course, I always want to apologize because I was one of those musicians that could never get a church musician to show me anything that they were doing so that I could go back and practice, which is why I've got this site dedicated towards not being that type of a musician. But age and understanding has overtaken my thought process to where if I give information, I shouldn't have to continue to repeat that information. I constructed this page to be a supplement for the learning church musician, not the musician who's just beginning to learn the piano. So I've put together a video right now which can address some of my concerns and maybe some of the concerns of the musicians who ask for breakdowns for the pro level videos that I purposely put on the channel so that I can cover the spectrum of church musicians. So we're going to do it like this. Let's go to the page that I have put together for this conversation. So, from a church musician standpoint, musicians have to uh, grow into their ministry. There was a time when only the I'll say those excuse me those who had gone to school for music were considered to be church musician level. But as music began to change, especially gospel music began to change over, they let everybody in, and I'm part of that crew in my era where they let me in. I had no formal training in music. I could not read a piano chart, but I could read a hymnal because I did have instruction as a instrumentalist. So I could look at notes in a hymnal and finger out where those notes are in the key that they were in. A lot of musicians today are not required to have sight reading level. That may fall into the actual level two, the intermediate, whether you're learning sight reading from a hymn book level. So let me cover it in this way. And I've selected the song "Bless the Lord, O My Soul," the Andre Crouch version, and we're going to go to the key of C. Now let me make sure the Cordy app is in the key of C because I just did a video earlier. Yeah, it's not okay. So now the Cordy app is in the key of C. For me, beginner level church musician is 2 to 5 years uh, with some semi formal, non semi formal instruction in music and playing for a church currently, which means you're the substitute musician when the original one is when the primary one is coming in late and they want to have a testimony. Well, you don't have testimony service anymore, but the praise songs kind of fall into that level, and you have a baseline feel for music. So in the key of C, I've got to turn off the software that is right there. So baseline, you should know the major scale in the key of C. Now, if your fingering is not correct, that's okay, as long as you know that those notes exist. And of course, you should have a good working knowledge of the number system in a diatonic mode. What is diatonic? That you could play within that scale all the notes that fall in the same path of the scale. This allows you to be able to hear what those notes sound like in a chord format, which means if there's a melody going on, you know how to pick the one, you know how to pick the four, you know how to pick the five, you know how to pick the six. Now, there's not a lot of of skill really needed from the beginner level because you're learning. And that learning should never be stagnant. You should be always looking to, as they say, level up is the term they use. I always look at it is that you should not want to stay static in your growth in a church as a church musician standpoint. And we'll talk about each of the levels. So let's look at the song Bless the Lord, O My Soul in the key of C. If you have a good working knowledge of the scale, which means you can hear where the notes are and the singing starts, you should be able to pick out where the melody is going to start. So let's start our singer, and you get the idea where I'm going with this for the beginner musician, which means you know your chords already. And you're in that phase of I'm available to assist the church where you find yourself. So if someone starts singing this song,
bless the Lord,
you can find this chord.
My soul,
You can find that chord.
And all that is within
this chord.
me, bless His holy
In inversions, the 5
name.
I've got it on a loop, so let me stop that and let me lower her vocals down just a bit so you can hear the chords. So that's where, for me, where the beginner musician is. Now, of course, you want to add. Now, a lot of churches now have full bands. So, and the bass players don't like it when you play bass. Well, you may be in a church that doesn't have a bass player yet. So you have to now also know what it sounds like to play the lower notes, which is the left hand, because that's where you're going to get your bass notes from. So, you know, when the song starts, the 1, and then the 4, or the 5 rather, and then the 1, then the 4, I missed that one, 1, 5, and then the 1 again. So that's the bass line. That's where you should be from a actual beginner standpoint. So let's go through that again. The 1,
bless the Lord,
the 5,
my soul,
back to the 1,
and all that is
the 4,
within me, bless His
back to the 1, to the 5. This is just static chords. Now, you don't know nothing about movements yet, nothing about passing chords. We'll work on that. And
bless the Lord,
3 to the 5,
my soul,
back to the 1,
and all that is
the 4,
within me, bless His
the 1. This is all you're hearing at the beginner level. And to the 1. I don't know why I heard something in there. For me, that's where the beginner level is. So I have videos put together for the beginner level musicians that if that's where you are, you can play the number system chords 1, 4, 5, and the 1. Every now and then throw a 6 in there if the song calls for it. That's good to support a generic service. It's when it starts to get a little hairy. So my beginner videos, which there are, I won't say hundreds, but there are tens of them, cover a lot of different aspects. They teach you how to support the melody by chording underneath, but not just using the static 5 chord, but throw a 7th in there. Go back to the 1 with a static chord, the 2, the 1, and then the 5. That's what my beginner lessons on this YouTube channel teach. Beginner, and it just means that you have a working knowledge of the melody based upon the scales. You have a working knowledge of the bassline chords, not just the 3-finger, but the inversions also. which is why I have an actual workbook that I put together in 2011, which is available on my Patreon page. You don't see the link there, but on my Patreon page, I do have a 2011 workbook that I put together, and in it has a whole section based for the beginner musicians. Everything I feel a beginner should at least know or be working on so that they can move up to the next level, which is intermediate. And when you add the bass to that, now you extend your chords. Melody on top. See how I now extend these chords, melody on top. This is still for the beginner musician. All right, so that's, for me, the beginner musician should be looking to become fluent in the beginner level, which means following up the scales. 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, so that you can now add some more colorful chords, passing tones in the major scale so that you can enhance what's being done. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all this is beginner level. All these chords are in the major scale. This is in the major scale, right in the major scale. This is where the beginner level should be. So let's put those chords in with this. And
bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His holy
all in the major scale.
name.
Watch the walk up. 6, 7,
Bless the Lord, oh
5,
my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His
just picking chords,
holy
walking right up.
name.
So, as you can see, in the beginner level, taking advantage of all of the notes that are right in front of your fingers. But unless you practice on both hands, a different version of the what they call the chording system, which is what I came up under. I did not learn the Nashville number system. I did not know a Nashville number system existed. I just applied the chords that I learned in hearing so many other songs, which weren't gospel, or not gospel, they weren't jazz infused, but they used jazz chords. All on the. Now, and of course, when you're a beginning musician, you may not have the muscle memory yet, which is okay. That's why you practice. Every time you sit down to practice, you practice scales, because that trains your fingers to be able to have muscle memory, and it trains your ears to hear more notes than what's here from the center out. We haven't even gone out this far. That's when you go to the intermediate level. So, level 2, the intermediate musician. What does the intermediate musician, from my standpoint and from the standpoint of this channel, has? I give you the additional chords that the beginner or the level 1 musician doesn't have. The 7th, flat 7th, the minor, the diminished. And then you add those chords into the same song that you're doing. So, bless the Lord, diminished chord. The 7th, oh my soul. When this happens to be the 7th chord in the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but now it makes sense. Now there's my 7th that minor chord or diminished. This is for intermediate. Just by adding those additional notes from the black keys, all of a sudden adds a different flavor or tones to your chords. That's the intermediate level. The intermediate musician is not only using what the beginner uses, but they're now taking advantage of all the additional notes that is supplied by the black keys. And because they're learning more chords, they're able to apply them to a basic melody. So let's apply those new chords for the intermediate musician. Here we go.
Bless the Lord,
Diminish the seventh.
oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His holy
Same walk up.
name.
This is intermediate level musician.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His holy name.
One more time.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and
More
all
chords.
that is within me.
7, 3, 6, 2, 5. More chords.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul,
Intermediate.
and all that is within me. Bless His holy name.
So what you see me doing is now interjecting.
Bless the Lord.
Stop that. Interjecting the use of the black keys amidst the scale or the major scale. The only key I didn't use was the D flat, and that's because that'll give you a jazz tone, which we'll cover in the advanced level. So as you see, there's levels to playing for a church, and what I like to be able to get across to our beginner musicians, you want to get to the intermediate, to the advanced stage, especially right now during this time, because a sense that I get, and I've been always been taught to forecast what could be potential happening around gospel music. There's a shift coming in what's going to be required for musicians, and if they begin to thin the herd of musicians, they're going to retain the ones who demonstrate that they can do more than what the beginners can do. Now, it doesn't mean you may not be able to land on your feet somewhere, but it might not be at your church of choice as you have right now. That's just a inkling. Again, I'm very good at forecasting what could potentially happen in the church musician world, which is why I lasted 48 years consecutive. I never had a break. So the same concept. All those chords are right there. To me, and for what this channel has provided with over 2,800 videos with an overhead camera, and in some cases me writing out the chords in the earlier videos, you get to see what these chords sound like and how you use your hands to approach them. I can just look at a chord and know that this is a 5, a G, and that this is a C minor, and that this is a, what do you call it, Aug, and that this is a diminished. Just checking my chord here to make sure that I'm correct, because I've practiced these chords before I had chord books. And once I got the chord books, I said, oh, so that's every time I hear a diminished chord, it'll be the major chord flatting the fifth and the third and the fifth, and then you can add the fourth note to complete that tone, but you can't stay there. Sus, right? G over B. There's a B, G over B, and that's from practicing inversions. So the intermediate musician, they're the ones that I really tailor my lessons to, because I want them to get to the advanced level. When you get to the advanced level, yes, some sight reading will be required, because if they drop a hymn book in front of you, you don't want to say, well, I don't know that song. What you want to be able to say is that I can learn that song. So I have courses on the, I won't say courses, but videos that does deal with basic sight reading from a hymnal standpoint. They're on the channel. Use the search engine to search for them. And I'm going to pop this in there real quick in case you haven't hit the like button yet. Okay, we want you to be conscious of that, because this helps YouTube to push us out there to more musicians when they see engagement by the viewership. So, some more for the intermediate musician, because I think we sometimes, at least I'll say we, the other content creators that I observe, we believe everybody is advanced, and some musicians are still growing in their music, especially when they want everything in a very comfortable key. The intermediate musician has no problem. We'll stay in C right now. We'll go to the advanced. We'll change keys. Had no problem with finding different ways to sample the tones that are available to them. They can go, bless the Lord, oh my soul. Again, using the black keys, and all. This is the jazz feel that is within me. Bless his whole. Drop right down into that chord. Lee. And use the fingering. Name. So let's get that demonstration also. Let's get the soloist keyed up. Here we go.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy.
It changes. This is intermediate musician.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy.
This is intermediate musician on my channel.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name.
Intermediate. You will have the ability to float on the keys, to pick and choose what style of chords you want to apply, and to at any time maneuver different chord phrasings from different songs that you would have either learned in the past or are currently learning. All right, level 3, advanced musician. Now you say, well, the advanced musician is taking everything from level 1, level 2, and how can I put it? When did I know that I was an advanced musician? when I could change it to put the song in any key that I wanted to, and execute the same chord changes. So we're going to do that. Well, let's see. We'll stay in the key of C. I want to keep this comfortable, of course. I want the beginner musicians to know that there's levels to this. This is for church. None of this is for playing in the studio. The studio musician is the professional, and I will demonstrate what that's like. The advanced musician will look at a song and will go, well, gee, I know chords from Thomas Whitfield. I know chords from Kirk Franklin. I know chords from Hezekiah Walker. I know chords from Timothy Wright because I've learned all these songs. This is the advanced musician, the level three. I know chords from the Caribbean sound. I know changes that sound classical, which would be the actual Smallwood sound. And I can apply those rhythm and those chord movements and jazz to this same song depend upon the setting that you're in. Now, of course, if it's a praised moment, you're not going to be throwing all those in it, but it might be done in a sort of a concert. And it may be the song being done before the concert. So that musician, when they practice rhythm. That's what they have worked on in their practice time. So that when a song like this comes up and they want to change the mood of it because their congregation might be of a Caribbean nature, let's see what we can do.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His
I got to find. Bump, bump, bump.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His name.
So what did I just do there? I didn't change the speed of the melody. I found the melody path, and I included rhythm of a Caribbean nature. Now, normally you would speed it up a little more, and maybe I'll do that when I get to the professional level. Because at the pro level, that is semi studio ready to go to the studio and actually start working in the. And even at that point, from a church musician standpoint, you might not get in, but at least you'll get heard. But what you do now at the advanced level is that you hear things that no one else hears. I had to hear that, find the timing, and then slow the timing down to match it without changing what was being sung. That is when you're at the advanced level. You hear what others don't hear, and then you can implement it and then show others to keep pace with you. Let's see if I wanted to do that. Yeah, we can try that. Jazz.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His name. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His
I gotta catch the time. Catch the time. Catch the time. Here it goes. And
bless the Lord,
bum bum.
all my soul, and all that is within me, bless His name.
Okay, so I would have to reprogram the vocals to really fit a jazz feel. But if you're getting my the drift of what I'm saying, every level brings a different nuance to how music is approached. Of course, um, when I was a young musician, I had to play to the house. What was the spirit in the house? Spirituals, anthems, gospel to a point, no jazz. So I had to sneak it in there. Or I put it in there, but I had to sneak it in. And how I snuck it in is what you just saw. I kept it straight, number one, melody stayed straight, and then I said every now and then I throw in a because I had a background as I won't say as a jazz musician, as a instrumentalist in a jazz band in high school. So I got the chance to experience trumpets, flutes. We had strings, with violins. We had like I was part of the horn section. We had English horn. One guy played. Well, the teacher was an actual jazz musician, so he played the trumpet and the flugelhorn. So I got to hear the movement, which means I could now figure out, give me enough time in timing of the song being played, what to throw in there. But that's the advanced level. You're adding what the level one has as a beginner, what level two has learned as an intermediate, and now you're advanced to where you are semi jazz, probably first year jazz, where you can see I'm picking and choosing. Let's see if I can pull another. Well, let's pull a classical feel. So classical music, you have the long hair. See, I still can't get that right because I never learned it correctly. But let's see. Let's apply some Richard Smallwood because this is the advanced level. Richard Smallwood chords. Let's go.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me, bless His name. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me, bless His
Minor.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me, bless His Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me, bless His name.
So we added some of the classical sounds and tones from the Richard Smallwood songs. You know this one because it will fit, but only if you know that you can do this. So that's the advanced level. Level 4. That is where, and I won't say that I'm on level 4 because I play in all the levels purposely. I don't want to lose what I've done in level 1, level 2, level 3, and then when I sit at level 4, um, I don't remember that I still need those basic chords. That's the songwriter composer mode. That's when you look at a song and you say, if I wrote that song, what chords and what era of chords would I attach to it? I'm going to turn off the loop so that it goes to the second part of the song. This is when, as a musician, and this will be the most sought after level by a lot of churches. This is the organ player. Is usually level 4. In fact, because he can play organ, he can play keyboards. He might even be able to play a little bit of drums. Bass, no, because he doesn't want to ruin his fingers. But he'll hear every rhythm that you can apply from a piano standpoint. He'll even change up, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in a vibe sound to show you where, just when you get to the advanced level, you can now use your keyboard, which has thousands of sounds on it, and reharmonize a song so that it's still tasteful when it's being heard, but it also lends to a different approach. So again, the advanced level musician practices chromatic notes at a speed where even I have to every now and then practice at. The advanced musician doesn't have to ask, I should say the pro level, level 4, doesn't have to ask what key is a song in. He just wants to know what chords do you want him to place in that song. Or when if he's playing alone, he's developing the chord pattern each time that particular song is played. So we're still in the key of C, and we're in the concert piano mode, which is I came up on a Steinway piano in my home church. There was another organist when I was there. In fact, there were three organists, so I could not get to the organ until time moved them out because of life. And when it became my opportunity, I think I finished off my last 25 years total. So first 9 years was on the piano. The last 17 was on the organ, Hammond organ, which I trained on as a youngster. So I was very familiar with the Hammond organ sound. But the Steinway piano is where I cut my teeth because even though it wasn't the loudest instrument in the room, I still played it if though I owned it. Because in the professional level, you hear every note in their placement. And every note is at your disposal. So let's go back and play it all the way through. And this is level 4, professional. And you will see I have a series on the channel for pro piano player. It's not meant for the beginner or the intermediate. Yes, for the advanced player to know that there's levels to this. And when you get to level 4, you are at an elite level church wise. Can you go into Carnegie Hall in New York City at a professional church musician level? No. You're not being invited. But any church you choose to go to, you will have an advantage over anyone that's there. So let's give you my demonstration of the professional level playing the same song, implementing everything from beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Here we go.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His holy name.
I was going through all the different modes that I've learned as my time as a piano player, where if I was doing a something, if I was opening a song, then I knew don't hang in the middle, go up to the top. 1, 4, 5, 6, 2, flat 7, 4, 4 minor, 1, 2, 5, 1. Now I'm using the number system because so many are still dependent on the number system. I never was. I was dependent upon what notes and what articulation can I do to those particular notes at will, at thought. So let me just put the loop back on. Let's pick where it should stop. Because this presentation is so that I can get across to the musicians who come to this channel and support me with your views. Um, Again, I want to apologize for those who I have spoken. Now use the term harshly, because I found that I'm finding out that a shock sometimes when if you want to get something electronically into an alignment, you have to sometimes give it a little bit of a shock, a little bit of a tap to sort of reset what's been happening. I think on the computers you should say power on reset. I want musicians to get unglued from whatever level they believe they're at and understand the only way to progress is to anticipate what you want to be doing and have something firmly in place to build on. I got it on a loop mode. I'm going to change the tones that we're using, which is what I was doing. I wanted to go to a vibe sound, R&B soft. Nope, that's not really the one I want. Early 70s. There we go. Just to demonstrate where the professional musician cuts their teeth. They can be the straight man, they can be the aux man, they could do the organ, they could do both. Sometimes I see guys now putting a keyboard on top of the organ. I didn't come from that era. To me, it's sacrilege to take away the organ's top by putting an instrument on it, but that's why I'm retired. But just to give you an idea of what the level 4 should entail, and this channel has been put together by myself. I didn't have anyone to talk to say what kind of video should I add. It is how I said, how would I want someone to show me the levels that are involved to be able to support a church ministry, because you're going to be doing more than playing for Sunday morning. You'll be doing concerts, you'll be doing afternoon programs, you'll be playing for teenagers, for children. You should have a well-rounded musical resource to go to, and that's Sound of Joy. Here we go.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. He has done great things. He
I didn't time it out. It's coming up.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His holy name. He has done great things. He has done great things. He has done great things. Bless His holy name.
So I'm going to stop right there. But I was freelancing all of that. If you would have asked me to play that back again, I might be able to remember some of it. But the idea was to show you from the level 4 progression level, the professional level at level 4, you now decide how you want to make the music sound. As you can see, I didn't speed up the vocal. I didn't change any of the articulation. That all stayed the same. But with each level, the music got more interesting to hear. I threw in some funk, I threw in some jazz, I threw in some classical with a vibe, a keys sound for those who like the Nord sound. I was trying to emulate that. Depending upon the keyboard you have, you don't need to go out and invest in a keyboard to sound better. You need to build your palette of chords, scales, progressions, and runs. So that's the presentation that I've got for you right now. I talked about my Patreon page. There's the link right there, patreon.com, Samuel Tolbert. You can join for free. I have over 80 lessons, audio files, MIDI files, uh, other songs that I can do on Patreon that I can't do on YouTube already posted. If you want to join at a member, it's currently at $5 per month. There is a potential I'm going to increase it because I'm going to be doing a special offering for the increased price for songwriters and composers. Again, using my AI singers. If you want to support me, again, there is no obligation to support my channel. I work hard to be able to financially get things done around my household. But if you just want to say, hey, want to give you a thank you for what you're showing me, for giving me that spark or that kick in the rear, then you see the two links I have at the Cash App or at the PayPal. That's up to you. Again, I don't beg. I've always did my work, and God has provided a means for me to continue to provide content for you. Scales, chords, and progressions is what I'm all about. Once I know where the scale is and I know the chords that are available to me and how I can manipulate those chords, the progressions are the 2-5-1, the 2-5-1, the 7-3-6-2-5-1-4-2-5-2-5 sharp 1-1. Because I know where the chords are, it's just a matter of picking and choosing which one I want to use. Then I think the last one, which I got to add there, is passing chords. That's what Sound of Joy is all about. Getting you prepared for the present. Can't talk future anymore. We're in 2025, 5 years away from 2030. Thank God I'm able to see this part and still be creative and production. Thank you for spending some time with me. Let me just change my page look here. And as you can see, I am endeavoring to give a better presentation on my videos so that you will stay to the end. Sound of Joy Music Services, as always, remember to make a joyful noise. Take care. Be blessed.